From Chips and Queso, what is your PAP and favorite layouts? My PAP is like a little over 5 over, 5 and an eighth probably over, and about an inch up. And as far as layouts go, I'm pretty simple when it comes to it. I use like a pin over the bridge. Sometimes I'll put a hole in it, sometimes not, depending on the ball itself. And then I'll go under the bridge with a hole down. And I always get 2 balls sent to me of the new ones, and that's just the way I drill the first 2 and then decide what I'm going to do with them after that. What is the first ball out of your bag? Joey _ Pelagroso, I think. First ball out of my bag is all dependent on the lane pattern that we're bowling on, the bowling center that we're at. I'll use an example like when we bowled the Tournament Champions in Fairlawn. That bowling center hooks quite a bit, and we always know the pattern is going to be typically the 40-foot range. So the first ball out of my bag is probably going to be like a Venom Shock, more than likely. What mental preparation do you do to be able to bowl well in a tournament? Well, I approach every tournament the same, whether it's a major or a regular event. I show up to win. I don't show up to finish second. And it's just, sometimes I'll maybe focus on some things maybe that I've been doing well recently, and focus on the strengths that I have at that current time, and think about maybe what I haven't been doing so well, and maybe during the practice session work on those things a little bit, so if they do arise during the competition, I can be better prepared when those moments come. Which motive ball is your favorite? Isaac _ Teeters. That's a pretty simple one. It's a Venom Shock. It's been around for 6 years at this point. Still have several of them in my bag, and it's definitely the go-to ball whenever I get into a hairy situation. From Dylan _ 38204. What are your top 3 favorite motive balls ever made? Well, the first 2 are Venom Shock and Jackal Ghost. The third one is what always trips me up. We have had so many good bowling balls over the years, and always the ones we think about are the recent ones. And even the recent ones, I've got 4, 5, 6 of them that I could put in that spot. It all depends on what we're bowling on, what bowling center we're at, and that kind of thing. But bowling balls like a Forged Fire, the Supra, Trident Nemesis, Alpha Jackal, Gold Jackal. Man, I mean, the list could go on and on and on. And I haven't bowled in a while. I don't even hardly remember which balls we actually do have. But it's the third one's always a hard one. But the first 2 are very easy for me. From Dayton _ Yearling 16. What's your favorite core? Well, I've had a lot of success with the Venom Shock core. Over the years, there's been several different bowling balls, several different Venoms. But the one that I would say that I've enjoyed using the most has been the Sigma core. And it's one I always look forward to the next one that comes out with that core in it. Who's your biggest inspiration? Jack _ 4295. My dad. My dad's been my biggest inspiration my entire life. He's the one that's really molded who I am and helped me so much along the way throughout the years to help me become the bowler that I am today. And he's the one that I still rely on to this day. Whenever I have problems, I go home and I work with my dad. So he's definitely the one that's my biggest inspiration for me. Have you always been a high rev player, or was it something you developed? From Moneil 112008. Well, when I was really young, I had to learn how to create hook on the bowling ball. I've always been a very small statured person, So I had to find ways that I could create leverage on the bowling ball. And one thing I always tell people that's it's very underutilized in bowling is people don't use their legs enough. So it was one of those things where I've always had a lot of rev rate, but I did develop it very early, and it's just been getting fine-tuned over the years. The Big Riot Dog, what's your go-to layout? I have several of them based on each bowling ball. Each bowling ball has its own characteristics. If I'm using a ball such as an Alpha Jackal, my go-to layout on that ball is going to be like a pin under the bridge with the hold down. Just utilizing what the ball is supposed to do, and that's supposed to be really strong in the front to mid part of the lane and be nice and smooth and rolly through the pins. Whereas something like a Venom Shock, my go-to layout on that ball is going to be like a pin up over the bridge with or without a hole if I need it. What was your favorite win? Matt.Chew25. That's a very easy answer. It's a 2016 World Championships when I won my first major. Basically locked up the Player of the Year for me that year, and it was the first time my dad had actually physically been there when I won on TV. And for him to be there and witness my first major for the first time he was there was absolutely fantastic.